This is called Down the Porcupine Hole. Are you ready, Jonas? I'm going to go out there in a second, and when I come back, I'm going to be in love with you. I mean, we're friends now, but when I go there and come back, we'll be in love. You okay with that? Yeah, okay. It's for the rain. I'm coming back from the rain that running. I'm coming here. Dear Jonas, I have sort of appled your fingers. I have sort of door-handled your better angels. I have sort of pianoed your treasure hunter's drowned helicopter of second thoughts. I have sort of plastered your name all over the walls in letters large enough to be seen while on an exercise bike with the destination set to Morocco. I have sort of Xeroxed your oven into a bundle of barely perceptible tarnished sheets of paper. I have sort of planeted your rockery and sat there thinking about where the washing line ends and would I survive a crash into it and at what angle. I have sort of eagle-necked your lottery ticket and spooked your milk-filled aquarium. I have sort of riced your cushion into a series of conversations about ebullient yet understated window dresses. I have sort of tentacled the moon into a fat ladybird which is impossible to see because of the light pollution from our local kebab stir. I have sort of grandiosed some of my more questionable solutions to problems with reading the words this way up, while those words are upside down. I have sort of argued my way into certain bursting coded gestures, all on the theme of barnacles with watertight alibis. I have sort of hammocked and sort of toughed it out, opening the flag of your arms while you asked and asked, is it time? Is it time? I have sort of hagfished or pierre-ollard your stripy socks, the good pair. The ones you told me later were just the ideas of socks. I've sort of plasticked your vulnerability in my Y-fronts, riding a fox. I have murmurated my toes like the little teeth of a mouth speaking in lustrous, broad, blazing seconds of pink.
Dear Harry, I have sort of trumped every word of yours by reading the elephant's palm. It said you appled my fingers, but I fingered your apples first. I have sort of towered your milk-filled aquarium and hovered over the placentas of dawn. Who wants to put a baby into this world? I have sort of mountaintop removed the memory of your letter. Something about a fox riding a fox, or Fox News being too politically correct. I have sort of power planted your letter and sold it. Sorry, Harry. I have sort of planeted since you wrote, listening to the populist squirrels trying to sell me the politics of vegetating on tree branches, shooting pine kernels at strangers, but who wants a squirrel to lead them? I have sort of futured your better angels and found them saying it is murder. I have sort of cancered your Cohen. My mom said it was Trump's first deadly assault. I have sort of subcontracted the worst part of your better angels as strategists for my silicosis. I have sort of mattressed at night, hoping to find the supermoon the next morning in my bowl of milk, only to wake up with the supermoon already eaten by police, military, coast guards, trained water buffaloes feasting ebullient. I have sort of man-spreaded my humbleness towards hateful men. I have sort of pianoed too, but the helicopter inside turned frog when I kissed you. I have sort of Philippined my criminal behavior. I have sort of watered the dry pilots. They're soaked now with future, Harry. I have sort of lullabied. Things are going to slide in all directions.
Dear Jonas, I have sort of Mike Pensed and exited from your public convenience, leaving your garden of apples lolloping into the polis. I have sort of filibustered your cat and flamethrowering. I've seen the dawn chorus, the midwifing of the world. I've sort of 9.99'd and newsified your foxes and sort of top of the houred and trampolined and trampolined your first successful biohack. It was a disaster, Jonas. I have had to soak my tie in the sink to try and get rid of the stains of elephant shit. I have sort of had a staring contest with a few more electrical items. They are now worth more money, Jonas, sold as seen. I have sort of porcupined and peppercarcard the squirrels in the dips in your road and cried and continued eating and cried but continued eating. Angel-led, I have sort of bumpkined and adored your maximum sentences like a murderer raising their right hand and leaving without paying. I have sort of pussy-grabbed and sort of raincoated while splurting one of my more spectacular star-studded aerial vomits, my suicidal fatbergs, feeling up, made great again, and I am kissing you blue until I ask, who is this? Who is this? And you coming round for air and lawsuits say, it's a mirror, Donald. This is so important to me. I have sort of wrongdoing your supermooning and sort of asked you to stop, and exam cramming, I have sort of hydraulic giraffed your first cousin. Her triboluminescent head is a bobbing egg of glowing joy. I have sort of regreened and rye-breaded and multi-storied, and therefore dioramaed my feelings towards men who snow spit, mistaken for a town. These feelings are now twinned with the abstract concept of forgetting where it is that we have parked the car. I have sort of amphibiously kissed you. I've sort of closing down sailed my composure, and all that is unsold are 2 left gloves with which I will punch the air, Stalloning at first, then crossing the line of a headphone-lightened self-awareness. I have sort of blast shielded my completely dreadful personal taste and kept my gym membership as close to my chest as fridge poetry. Jonas, tired of the altitude, I have come downstairs to the helm of your house and steered it from this town to the next. Every time the postman must follow me. Sometimes I leave a pair of your stripy socks and some red boots protruding from the front stoop, and I say to him, why do you keep trying to deliver to Jonas? Can't you see he is dead? Have you no heart?
Dear Harry, I have been busy. I have sort of Englished my Swedish to make you understand the true roots of democracy. It was born in Skara Sommarland. I have sort of Bert Karlsson our poem. Sorry, but it wasn't my fault. It's coming through the crack in the wall, this visionary flood. I have sort of cooled the sacked. And it wasn't even my cat you filibustered, it was my sister's. How do we get through, Harry? I have sort of elephanted in the room long enough now. Your tie is like the ones in Canary Wharf, hung around the neck of 1,000 sales and acquisitions sharks. Why don't we move to the coral reefs straight away? I know a bacterium there who is quite hospitable. I have sort of moneyed. Try to talk through the pain of the world yourself. I have tried to sort of preoccupy my porcupine with potholes and motorway projects, but it constantly talks back to me in German. I have sort of truthed, But it wasn't truth, not even anger, but grabbing, grabbing, grabbing. It's very important to me that we come together and a little private jetted tour de force around the world. I have sort of supermooned your wrongdoing. I wake up every morning and suspect that your last letter is the self-hate manifesto of a middle-class hippo, hunter, hipster, hypocrite, homogenizing horticulture horde, but I find your words saying something else. Love in an awful place. Place in an awful love. I have sort of parked outside your house. Don't be scared, Harry. I have not come to deliver anthrax powder or power plants or stale elephant meat. I come with a tiny plate of deeply felt affection. Affection, it's not important. I have sort of left gloves punch in the air, wondered what you meant. You have no right hand. Take your longing and join me, Harry. I have sort of mountaintop removed decency. There will be phantoms, there will be fires on the road, and the white man dancing. I have sort of electrified every village on my private Goldilocks rabbit hole planet. When we have a sort of shit hits the fan, I'll take you there, Harry. There will be gyms for every kind of longing.
I have sort of sensations that this heart keeps beating.
I have sort of single malted your nerves. It's time to become multitudes.
I have sort of eared your chest.
I have sort of skinned your skin.
I have sort of earthwormed our future.
It was less murder than I feared it would be.
Before we met.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.